What's up, guys? This is Flatline MMA breaking down UFC 306, Noche O'Mally versus Dvalishvili. I'm Bloomin'.
Group. We're excited to be here. We're excited for this absolutely stacked card of 3 fights and nothing else. I mean, we got O'Day Osborne on the main card. I'm sure you guys have heard all about how bad that is and everything else. We'll get to that. But starting off, we got the Hall Hosas fight. Me personally, the odds say it all. Paul Hosas, no doubt, is going to destroy him. I mean, I would say he takes him down first round. I think other dude, Chinese man, is going to get up right away, and there's going to be some rumblings like, ooh, is Paul Hosas legit? Takes him down again, gets the back, rear naked choke, chokes him out round one. That's my prediction. Bloom, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's just up and down except for like maybe 1 to 2 fights. Women's fights are unpredictable, but real fighting, men's fights here, it just seems like all the men's are going to be layups except for maybe one is a 50-50. But it seems like it's going to be Mexico almost up and down the board here. I've got Raul Rosas. He got one bad loss to the guy who couldn't make weight. And I don't know. They want the young kid to win. It's to open up the card. They'll give him some hype. No one will probably be tuned in or give a shit. But for us fight fans, that will be. I mean, it's a layup for us, I guess. It'll be cool. It's going to be the intro to the Sphere. We'll see what they do. Something special. I'm excited, but yeah, Raul Rosas. I don't know. He might sniff dick for 15 minutes, but you know he's going to get the win no matter what. So, all right. Moving on. Pretty easy one. Pretty easy layup for Mexico to start off 1-0. Just so they probably did that because there's probably some crazy Mexico animation or something like that after he wins that they're gonna do for each Mexican fighter that wins or something. I'm sure there's something like that going on. All right.
Yeah, wait, little sidebar. Are you going to be looking out for all the Easter eggs that Dan's putting out?
I will not be. I'll probably just be getting hammered.
All right, on to the next.
We got Edgar Chavez versus Joshua Van. Right
At
here.
least the guy's honest.
So I guess there were a few. All right, I capped early. We got Joshua Van, Chavez. Obviously, I'm going Van here. I know he just came off a loss. It's kind of close. Honestly, I don't know. I kind of do value plus 190 on Chavez because Joshua Van did just come off a pretty bad loss pretty recently. What was like 2 months ago was that loss?
Yeah, that was in July.
Yeah, July he
So,
got that loss. So a little shaky to be minus 235. It is flyweight, so I don't know. It's a little close. It seems like this guy's a little bit bigger. It is Mexico, so you know on the Mexican card, you guys see these guys are getting a little bit of bias. But I'll just ride Joshua Van. We know he's got the talent. He's a pretty young dude, but he's up and coming. I'll ride Joshua Van, Team USA. Probably go 1-1 for Mexico off the bat.
yeah, I mean, I definitely have Van too. I like that Chavez or Edgar, however you say it, is taller. He's 5'7", Van's 5'5". I think that I always like to put that into factors. Reach, 6-inch reach advantage. That's kind of massive, but Van's younger, 22. I mean, the other dude's 28. There's no real there's an age discrepancy, but it's not like either guy's old. What I do like is Van. I was looking at some of the odds. I don't hate him by submission. The only reason I'm saying that, he had two in his 8-fight win streak. And if you look at Edgar's losses, I believe he's lost two of his five losses by submission, and his two of his last recent losses were by submission. So I don't hate Van by submission. It's a long shot. I'm not saying put the bank on it, but at 9-1, I think that could be the play there.
All right. Bold takeoff price right away during the early prelims. Or I guess it's just regular prelims. Yeah, I think it's just regular prelims, not even early prelims for this card. All right. Yeah, so we agreed Joshua Van so far Wolfpack the first two fights of the night. All right, first 15-minute dump break. We've got Yasmin Yaragui versus Ketlin Souza. Oh,
Yeah, I
English.
mean, I'm about to fall asleep just reading the names. I'm looking at the tail of the take. Fight odds. I want the odds that says I'm gonna take a nap during this fight. That's what I want to bet on. It could be minus 10,000. Yes, I'm clicking that. I'm putting my house, my apartment, my car on that. Like, there's no way I'm gonna sit here unless one of them starts shaking their ass or starts doing some cool shit. Maybe I'll tune in. But till then, I'm gonna sit back, relax, maybe go grab some food. You see me, you know I will, and I might take a nap. That's how I'm gonna enjoy this fight. I don't have a pick.
Yeah, this is just. I'm gonna time up. I'm gonna probably order some pizza right during the Raul Rosas fight. Should be popping up. It's probably unless something ends early, but Raul Rosas is going 15 minutes. Josh Van Suarez flyweight's probably going decision. I'm gonna time that up an easy 30 minutes right there. Get my pizza at the door right while this is showing up. Wash my hands, share a couple slices, get a rack of beer, and maybe I'll catch the end of it. Maybe I'll catch the decision. If I don't, do I really care that much? I don't give a fuck.
Nah, yeah, I don't care who wins this.
I'll go Caitlin Souza. I saw she was shaking ass with Natalie Drama, so I'll ride that. I mean, I'll take some dog action. I think that women's MMA is one of the easiest underdog bets to take. I respect underdogs in women way more than men's MMA, if I have any respect at all, that is. And yeah, so I'll ride Caitlin Souza. So I guess I'll ride Brazil. So I really just capped off the bet. And by the way, I'm just gonna spoil this early. If you want an easy money-making parlay, just go over on rounds for each woman's fight tonight. I think there's 3 women's fights on this card. Just parlay them all
Yeah.
over, all to go to decision. All right, that's a free. That should be at least an even money bet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that. Over under 2.5 snoozes during the women's fight. I'm hitting the over. I'm snoozing in all of them. So that's my parlay.
Yeah. All right. Seems like we're just. Who'd you say you got in this one?
No pick.
No pick. All right. Didn't even deserve his pick.
No.
All right, this one, Manuel Torres versus Ignacio Banahomendes.
Bahamundes.
Banamundes.
Bahamundes. Yeah.
All right, couple lightweights.
Yeah.
Take it.
I fall into this trend and I look at some of my favorite fighters. And this guy's my favorite fighter, but when I was looking at the card, I love the long, lengthy motherfuckers that just, I mean, kickboxing galore. This guy is 6'3", 155. He's gonna stab from the outside. He's gonna dance around. Never been knocked out. Never been TKO'd. He has 10 TKOs. Ground game's a problem, and if they go to the ground, I mean, recently he showed more signs of life, but he doesn't have any submission threat. He doesn't have any offensive grappling, and get-ups are tough. In his last 3 fights, he's lost mostly by takedown guys and just getting destroyed on the ground. If not, he did have 1 submission, like 4 fights ago, I believe. But besides that, he really has no ground game. I'm gonna take or the other guy, I like Ignacio, but I think this is kind of set up for Torres. I know I just kind of baited with all this Ignacio talk, but I really was looking at it. I was trying to find a way to pick Ignacio, but I'm gonna go Torres. He looks his last fight, he looked better. He looks more accurate. I like his ground game way more. As I said, I believe he just beat some dude by submission, so I like him way more, and I'm gonna pick Torres.
Yeah, you baited me there. I thought we were going to be opposite on this one. I was going to ride Torres the whole way. I already got a bet on him, to be honest. All right, I just scoped it out. I respect it. He's kind of like, he's got that Gene Silva type of vibe. Another lightweight. I guess Gene Silva fights sometimes a featherweight. Fights a featherweight too, but just a Gene Silva vibe. Just on a hot streak. You got to respect streaks. This guy's got tons of power. I mean, he's a little bit older, but pretty respectable reach. I mean, he's got 73 inches of reach compared to this guy who's 6'3". He's got 75 inches. Like, it's not too crazy. Maybe the kicks will be a little bit of an issue, but I think Torres will close the distance. And yeah, I'm just gonna ride Torres. I'm riding Torres with you. I got it when he was a little bit of an underdog. I believe it switched about probably in the last couple of days, I guess, because I bet it on Tuesday, and I got Torres at a little bit of plus money on plus 105, so I rode that.
I do like Torres. The only problem is he has like, I believe, 5 fights since the Trump administration.
Yeah.
So he fights like once a year, maybe. I mean, this year is literally, besides 2021, the one year he's doubled up. So he really is kind of slow. He hasn't lost since 2019, but he's only won 6 fights, 7 fights since then. So he really, that could play a factor, but I think he'll come out and make a statement. He's won his last 5 in the first round. A lot of them within the first 2 minutes. So yeah, definitely a Torres guy here.
Yeah. All right, another Wolfpack agreement. Moving on, final prelim of the night. We're already at the end of the prelims right here. Another I guess it's kind of a good time, you know what I mean? Order your pay-per-view, I guess, if you're not streaming it. Take another dump. Probably this one I'll be taking my shit. I'll probably get done with my pizza probably during this fight, during the Manuel Torres fight. I'll take another dump and I'll get ready for the main event. All right, we got Irene Aldana versus Norma Dalmute.
Come on.
I'm gonna go Irene Aldana here. It's a little bit of a pick 'em. I'll probably this kid honestly we could probably break out the sauce packet again to do another coin flip. It's 1-0 so far on this channel, but I'll go Irene Aldana. A little bit older, a little bit more masculine looking. There's a lot of anger there. I don't think she had any kids, so she's probably got this resting fire inside of her of being a failure. Bryce?
Yeah, I, I don't know where you're going with that. And I feel like you're just throwing me in now to cover up for you. Um, I like both. Truly, I do. I like Nora Dumont. Obviously, she has the famous meme of Chesla Chandler running away from her in the octagon. And she's won 4 of her last, or no, 7 of her last 8, and the one loss was a split decision to Macy Chiasson. Now Chiasson just beat who was it, Mauro Bueno Silva.
Yeah, she got that
So I
elbow
mean,
on
that's
her.
not looking, yeah. So that's not looking like a bad loss, and that's her only loss in the last 8 fights. But I do have to respect Irene Aldana. I'll actually watch this one. I actually like Irene Aldana fights. I know it's a hot take. I'm gonna watch a woman's fight. Trust me, I don't like saying it. I feel sick to my stomach. But Irene Aldana in her last fight put up probably like a top 5 women's fight I've seen. And it sticks out because I don't see a lot of good ones. And I'm sure you guys would agree. But I'm gonna go Dumont here by decision, of course. No way I'm taking a finish in a woman's fight. I will take Dumont by decision.
Yeah, I mean, I was pulling it up right now. I just kind of like to go through the stats while you're talking, just for everyone to be able to see what we're looking at. And I was looking at Dumont, and literally all of her fights have gone to decision. Split, she lost to Chiasson, and then it's just been unanimous decision every single fight night. She's an apex king. Alan Curtis, Alan Curtis, Pavlovich fight night. I mean, she's just her first 2 fights. She was on the pay-per-view stage for 247 or 274 and 279, and then after that, they're like, "No, you're an Apex Warrior." So, I mean, this chick, she deserves
Yeah,
it. I mean, kind of bold to throwing her on here. I thought, it's kind of bold, honestly, by Dana in general to be throwing women's fights at the peak of the prelims. People on the fringe about buying the card, and you're about to throw 15 minutes of snooze in there. But all right, all
okay.
right,
I
moving on.
mean, one
Okay.
more thing about that. It's bad when the money line is plus 100 and her to win by decision is plus 110. I mean, it's basically a guarantee that she's going to win by decision if she wins. There's no money to be made by taking her by decision.
Yeah, so just
That's all I
don't.
want to
Not
say.
even worth the extra 10 cents. Just play it safe. Who knows? Maybe Irene Aldana, something crazy will happen.
Yeah.
But we'll
I mean,
see. All right,
yeah. I
moving
mean,
on.
I'll probably still take the 10 cents. There's no way she's not going to decision. So, but anyways, sorry.
That's true. All right, moving on. First card of the big UFC 306 not Apex, excuse me, Sphere card. We've got Ronaldo Rodriguez versus O'Day Osborne.
Let's go. I love my boy O'Day. I remember him on the Cerrone McGregor card. He was, I believe, the same spot as this. He was the opener of the main card. You can look. I believe that's true against Brian Keller. and I believe he got finished in the first round. Now, that was in 2020. I'm not bringing that up for any reason besides saying that he's been here before. He's been in this spot before, and he has crumbled and failed. So, with all that being said, he's 4-4 in subs. He's 12-7 overall. He's not really great anywhere. He got knocked out against Nam. He's got submitted his last two fights. He only won a split decision to Charles Johnson. This guy does not deserve to be on the prelim headliner, the prelim opener. He should be under. I would rather have Paul Hosas here. I mean, for real. I mean, it's ridiculous. But I get what they're doing. They're setting up Rodriguez for success. I respect that. I know the odds are close, so maybe people know something I don't. But right now, I think Rodriguez by murder. I think Rodriguez by sub. I'm going to call it Gilly right now, Rodriguez to win.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I think it's just a layup for Rodriguez to get some hype, a couple flyweights. He's a small dude, you know, but they want the Mexican guys, especially on the pay-per-view card, to actually be able to take it home off the bat, start off 1-0. I agree. I got to ride Rodriguez. It's kind of a big spot for him right away in his career like this, to be on the sphere like this. You never know. These guys from these, I don't know what part of Mexico he's from, but you might get kind of distracted by all the high-tech lights and stuff like that. I'm surprised they don't have any Dagestanis on there, dude. I bet they wouldn't be able to focus at all once they start seeing technology and lights around them and shit. They'd probably get distracted like a deer in headlights out there. But I'll take Ronaldo Rodriguez. I think he's a pretty scrappy dude. I'll take it. Odie Osborne's obviously kind of, it's on a little bit of a fall off right now. This is kind of like his last kind of big scenario he's probably going to be in after this. He's probably sending back to the Apex. Maybe he'll get lucky and be in an early prelim of a pay-per-view.
Nah, put him on the next headliner. Put him at Madison Square Garden.
Put him next to Jones.
Garden if he wins it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, shoot, they must believe in this guy.
But I'll ride it. I have Rodriguez. I haven't actually bet it yet, but he's going to be a starter of some of my parlay pieces, just being minus 150. I might put a little bit of money on him by himself, but probably more of a parlay piece. Might put him and Diego Lopez together, something like that maybe. But yeah, all right, we're riding Rodriguez. We'll go Mexico 1-0 on the beginning of the pay-per-view. Moving on, Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Ribovic. I'm going.
Hey.
This is
Sorry, you can go.
No, this is another one of those, except for the women's fights. I honestly respect the underdog here. I think Esteban Ribovic isn't getting enough respect. I know he got a knockout. He's staying active, which is, I respect that. A guy that he obviously didn't take any damage against McKinney. He chinned him, but who isn't chinning McKinney right now? But I respect it. I like his style. I think he's actually a pretty talented fighter. I think this will be a lot closer than the odds say. Even though he's not the Mexican, obviously, I respect him, and I think that he's got enough talent and power to be able to finish him inside the distance. So I wouldn't hate a little Esteban Ribovic TKO, maybe inside the distance win, something like that. Probably like a plus 300 bet.
Yeah, I mean, I wish that you were just gonna go Zellhuber and be the casual you are, because I was excited to come in here. I was gonna fire out right away and say Ribovic. I remember when I was looking at this card right away, I was like, "Who? What is this? Another O'Day Osborne situation?" But then I remember watching this guy against Terrence McKinney, and I agree, everyone's beat Chinny McKinney, but this dude is a absolute animal. I mean, I think I get it. Dude's Zellhuber's Mexican. I get it. That's probably why the odds are so high. He has the reach advantage by a lot, like 9 inches, 8 inches. He has the height advantage. So I feel like those are the only factors playing against Ribovic. But record-wise, they both have one loss. It was by decision, and it was about 3 fights ago for both of them. So record-wise, they're about the same. I'll take basically the 200 underdog and just ride it by itself. If it doesn't hit, it doesn't hit. If it hits, I feel like a genius. So I'm definitely going Ribovic here.
All right, another Wolfpack bet. I didn't think we were going to agree on that. I've been in between. I've been trying to get talked into Zellhuber and stuff like that, but I'm like, this is a lot closer of a fight than I feel like people are giving it credit for. I know he's a little bit of a bigger dude, but they're both pretty young guys. I mean, 28, 25. I guess the reach might be where it is. I didn't see that. I guess he's got an 8-inch reach advantage. Zellhuber does on Ribovic, but I don't know. I don't hate it. I like Ribovic. I'm gonna ride. I'll take the dog money there. He's a full dog in this fight. He's not like, yeah, it's not like a McKinney fight. You know what I mean? Like, this will be closer than people are gonna credit for. Finally, you know what everyone's saying is probably gonna be the fight of the night. Action packed. We've got Brian T. City Ortega versus Diego Lopez. Bro, who do you got?
Yeah, I mean, when it was gonna first go down, I was seriously thinking about Ortega, especially at the number. I thought it was a good number. I thought it was a layable number. I probably would have took it. And I don't even think Lopez looked that good against Ige. Now I obviously respect Ige, and he looked good for what, like, literally he looked good. He won the first two, but then he gets down in the third. You can blame that on 2 weeks, 3 weeks notice, but Ige had 8 minutes notice. So,
He was in a training
but
camp.
look, yeah, he was, but for some no name
No, but he was in a
named
training
Lerone
camp. He
Murphy.
was already like a month into a camp, something like that. He just had to
Yeah,
step
I
up
guess
that
Lerone
day,
Murphy.
take a drive in. No one really cares about Lerone Murphy. That was probably a layup fraud watch matchup for him anyways. Probably Dana wanted him to get out of that fight just so he didn't put that dude on fraud check. But
Oh, they're running it back in October.
oh, are they? Let me guess another
Yeah,
Apex
they
card.
rescheduled it. No, no. The main card opener for the Max Holloway Taporia card.
Oh, in Abu Dhabi.
Yep.
Hmm. Bold
It's,
choice.
it's all good though. I wouldn't expect
Saudis
you to
will not
look that
be.
far ahead.
Saudis will not be happy about that.
About what?
Moving on. Brian
All
Ortega versus
right.
Diego Lopez. I mean,
Yeah.
people aren't giving Diego Lopez enough credit for is that this dude had to cut down to 45, make that weight. I think they had a catch weight at
Thompson,
150, something like that, at like the middle of the night when they woke him up and said that he has to make
160.
weight at once. No, that was the end. But there was one before that because
Oh
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
145. Obviously,
154.
he made weight, and then they like woke him up at like midnight, something like that, the night before the fight, obviously, and they said he's not making weight. We got to do a catch weight, and then he agreed to cut. So then he had to recut down to 155, and then obviously like the fight was like in the air, kind of like mentally and draining. Just like have to keep cutting over and over like this. Especially this dude's almost 6 feet tall, cutting to 145, and then he had to meet again at 160 to fight this dude. We basically just got to wake up. Maybe he had to cut like 2 pounds. He probably just had to piss in the morning. It was Danny. Is not a big dude. You know what I mean? He's kind of walking at 160. It's not a big dude. So I feel like people Diego Lopez like, oh, he only had to cut weight twice. No, he had to cut weight. He had to make weight 3 times and like didn't get to sleep the night before. Dan Ige was probably taking a shit, and then gave Dana White a call and was like, yo, I just dumped. I can make 160. Let's do this thing.
Great analysis. I don't know where you're going with that,
Well, I'm just
and
saying, people
that
aren't
is
giving
just
Diego
fine.
Lopez enough respect. Diego Lopez is gonna win this fight. Without a doubt in my mind, he's going to win this fight. He's better on the ground. Brian Ortega, we saw it against Yair too. All right. Brian Ortega doesn't get started until he's got at least one black eye or a broken orbital. Something has to be leaking on this dude for him to even start fighting. Or else he just stands there and doesn't do shit until one of his eyes is almost closed up and you're worried the doctor's stoppage is about to come in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you're talking about, and I really am confused by everything you just said.
Really?
I honestly, the only thing I agree with is I have Lopez, and if it was a 5 round fight, it would be a lot different. But in 3 rounds, I got Lopez, no doubt. I think maybe a late finish, honestly. But I think Lopez by finish, I don't know how. He could do either or probably. I think he could knock him down. The only part is I know, oh, Ortega never gets finished by all those fucking nerd fans, but realistically, I like Lopez. He could take him to decision, but I think Ortega is going to be broken into this fight. I think he's going to get destroyed, honestly. I think it'll be close first round. Second round, Lopez will put the pace on him. Third round, he'll kill him.
Already an ignorant
That's my
take out
pick.
of you. Like I just said, if you actually watch Brian Ortega's last few fights, he literally doesn't start fighting or do anything at all until
Until he's a broken
face
orbital. Yeah, I
until
don't know
his
if that's
orbital
actually
or his face is
analysis.
leaking. So for you to say it's going to be a close first round, I have no doubt in my mind. If there's a prop bet where Diego Lopez wins the first round, I would take that every day of the week because Brian Ortega doesn't have shit in the first round. He's a slow starter. I think Diego
I think
Lopez is a bigger, better
Lopez could
version
knock
of
him out in
Brian
the
Ortega.
first.
So,
And younger, fresher.
yeah, younger dude, way bigger, way more hype. No one really gives a fuck if Brian Ortega wins. I mean, it's cool. He's already planning to move to lightweight. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, when Pereira was fighting Izzy again. Like, he's already kind of got this mentality where he's about to move up. But
No, he didn't have that mentality. I remember watching the post fight. He was saying that Dana is kind of suggesting to him that he should move up, but no problem. No problem at all.
no, he literally said that this is his last fight at middleweight when he fought Izzy the second time, and said that I will be moving up to light heavyweight after this.
To fight for a double belt.
No, just in general, he said no matter what.
Okay, no problem.
Just an idiot take out of you.
All right, I don't think you're right, but no problem. Let's go to the next one. We
All right,
got
so we're
Grasso
wolf
versus
packing
Shevchenko.
Diego Lopez here.
Yep. And now we got Grasso versus Shevchenko. Hunter, who do you got here?
I'm Ryan Alexa Grasso, and you guys know me. Bryce has known me for years. Broop has known me for years. I hate betting women's MMA, but I'll ride Alexa Grasso here. I think that she's way better, way younger, way more talent. Shevchenko, she's older, I guess, old. And then I just don't think she has anything for her. She's still in the same mentality. I was watching the press interviews that they did when they had people one by one going by the table and stuff like that. Shevchenko's still mentally stuck on how she got ripped off in that 10-8 round and stuff like that. And, like, she's just still in this mentality, hung up on the last fight. Who gives a fuck? You're a fighter. You're supposed to move on from this shit. Alexa Grasso. They're both pretty feminine-looking women, so I'll ride Alexa Grasso. Way better looking than Shevchenko. Shevchenko's kind of looks like a truck-driving man at this point. She has aged very poorly. So I'll ride Alexa Grasso. Might do a little... Actually, I'll just give you my parlay of the night right now. It's going to be Grasso, Diego Lopez, and Ronaldo Rodriguez. That'll be my 3-bag parlay for the card for Flatline MMA for me, my side of it at least. Anyways, Brute,
right,
what's your
well,
take on the fight? And then
I think I found a pretty good comparison for this fight in that of Max versus Alex Volk. And my thinking behind that is Shevchenko was the dominant champion. Holloway was the dominant champion. They're both favorites going into the first fight against Grasso and Volk. Both lost. Different ways, but they both lost. Next fight, extremely close. I thought Max won it. I thought Shevchenko won it. Volk and Grasso won it. Now going to the third, there's all this hype of Shevchenko getting the belt back. And actually, the odds, I was surprised. I thought Shevchenko would be a small favorite. It's flipped right now. So maybe that turns me a little bit off of this, but I think I got Grasso here, and I think Shevchenko is going to show her age and her miles on her, not only in MMA, but in kickboxing, Muay Thai. She's had a ton of bouts, so I think I got Grasso here pretty easily. I think it's actually going to be a little more showing of Grasso taking over, like, women's MMA almost. Her and Jean kind of running it, at least for the rest of this year. So I got Grasso probably by decision, but 49-46.
yeah, this is the only women's fight. I don't really think the first fight, the prelim fight with Souza, that's going decision no matter what. All right, easy. The Irene Aldana fight, that's probably about a 95% split, nap time decision. This is the only women's fight that I could on the card that I could possibly see being maybe a finish inside the distance because it's going 25 minutes. But let's be honest here, it's women's MMA. It's going the distance. But if there's one I would be a little bit worried about being the sweat, it'd be this one. 25 minutes, two chicks that, they got some capabilities. You know what I mean? These aren't completely
And finishing
incapable.
potential.
These aren't incapable women's MMA. There's some talent here. But yeah, let's go Grasso.
But there is.
Yeah.
All right.
Moving on to the final card of the night. Who's the true Mexican? Noche O'Mally versus Dvalishvili. All right.
Man.
This card, not really the greatest card of all time, right? I think we can all agree on that. This is no no benchmarker here. This isn't anything crazy, but I'm a big Merab guy. I have been to Merab's last 2 fights. I was at the Virgin Hotel in Las Vegas when he did his fight against Piotr Jan. I was in the crowd for that. I was one of 60 people there. Not an Apex fight. It was just a really small crowd in a Vegas hotel. I was there for it. And I was at 298 Taforia Volk, obviously when he was picking up Cejudo. I've seen this guy live. All right, I'm a big Merab fan, but I gotta go with Sean O'Malley here. You see Merab get wobbled by Henry Triple C Cejudo. Things are not looking up in your career. All right, and like I said, I'm a huge Merab guy. I wanted to pick Merab so bad, but I just can't. I gotta ride Sean O'Malley. He's got the power. And you got to think about it. There's two things. MMA Guru made a great point about this. I didn't even really think about. If Merab gets wobbled, just like Aljo, you know they're stopping it early. You know what I mean? They're not letting Merab battle for his life out there. No one wants to see Merab be the champion and be the highlight of this benchmarker card. You know what I mean? Dana wants Merab to get knocked out and Sean to walk off and get all the praise, and it's to be some big crazy uh, scene or whatever on the screen behind him. They just want a big Sean O'Malley cinematic walk-off knockout. That's all he wants. He doesn't want to see. No one in the UFC corporate room wants to see Merab Dvalishvili hold the championship belt at UFC Noche in the Sphere. That would be Dana's worst nightmare. All right, sorry for the yap. You go.
No, I don't know how this happened, but literally, like 8 out of 10 fights, we picked the same. I also wanted to pick Merab, and going out of that Henry Merab fight, we kind of knew because we all thought Sean was beating Vera that would be the kind of the next setup later this year, and here we are. And I thought Merab pretty easily, but then when I think about it more, how do you get hurt by Triple C? He got hurt by a wash Marlon Moraes,
Mhm.
and that's his only finish, but really it's only because Marlon Moraes gassed. So looking at it, it's either Merab decision. I don't hate Sean by decision, and I'll tell you why. I think Merab may play out the first 2 rounds. I think Sean's gonna have more damage, maybe the first couple of rounds, but Merab will have more control on the fence. But in damage-based scoring, you got to think that they're going to feed Sean the judges' scorecards, especially when he has the belt by his name. I could see a close, controversial decision going Sean's way, but I'm going to play not the long shot, but plus 375 on Sean to win by decision. I hate to do it, but I just think it's Sean's moment. And as you said, if he does get the finish, they're going to call it off early if he gets a knockdown or he gets him hurt. So I do agree. Left hook Sean or Sean by points.
Yeah. So, and I mean, the other thing I didn't really talk about that everyone's making a big deal about, kind of big Twitter news, like last week, was the Merab alleged staff that he's got in that picture. And it's like, a guy that's like everyone's making that point. If he's all gas tank, obviously he's not chinning anybody since he's been in the UFC. You know what I mean? He's just a gas tank guy. And I like Merab. Like I said, like I literally until I saw like I was dead set. I was like, no matter what, I'm picking Merab. But once I saw the staff and stuff like that, I kind of opened my eyes. I was like, he got the eye cut. Now he's got staff. It's like this dude's having like a breakdown before he gets to the top of the hill. You know what I mean? Like, all right, Sean.
Yeah.
There's just so much piling against him, like with his own body. It seems like with the cut, the staff. Dana doesn't want him to win. No one really, no one wants to see Merab win. It seems like, and for minus 135, I'll probably play some Sean straight up, maybe a little bit. Depending how bad my card's been tonight, I might put or on Saturday I might put a little inside the distance money, depending on if I need a comeback bet. But yeah, Sean.
And there you have it.
All right, Brute. What's your parlay of the night? Could be a 2 bag, 3 bag, 4 bag. What are you thinking? I already said
No,
mine.
I don't really. It's tough to find one. I mean, I'm gonna go for a more long shot one, and I'm gonna put Ribovic, and I'm gonna put you. You know what? I'll put Torres and Ribovic together. I'll pair them up. That's a short favorite with a plus 200. It's got to pay about 4 if I had to guess. Like that, and we'll see how it plays out, but that's what I'll go with.
Solid plays. I don't really think this is a pretty Not a very debatable card. I mean, we basically picked everyone up and down the whole card. I don't think we disagreed on any except for
The
the
woman's
women's
fight
fight,
thing.
Irene
Oh
Aldana versus Dumont.
no, I picked Dumont. Yeah.
Yeah, I picked Aldana,
Who-
so that's really the only disagreement. I mean, this isn't really a crazy card. It's kind of one of those like a little bit like the Brazil card, you could say, where it's kind of like they just want the hometown guys to win. It's
Top
kind of
heavy.
they want a lot of Mexican fighters to win. But I guess some of these people aren't even Mexican, but yeah, let's go Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez, Alexa Grasso, and Ronaldo Rodriguez probably my main card parlay. Yeah, we broke it down. Let's go Sean O'Malley. I wouldn't hate him or Rob win though. I wouldn't be pissed either way. I'm not gonna be overly invested in Sean on this one, to be honest, just because I wouldn't hate seeing Marab win. But I'm a betting guy, so I gotta put some action on it. I'll ride Sean all day. So all right, guys, thanks for
Yeah.
tuning in to UFC 306, UFC Noche. All right, peace out, guys. Good luck with your bets. Flatline MMA
Yeah.
out.
Have a great Saturday.